Hey fellow enthusiasts, this is Tommy Lanham and I am on a mission to break the monotony of the mundane and the mediocre by bringing as much enthusiasm to as many businesses, ministries, marriages, and individual lives as I possibly can. Hey, if you want 4 simple steps to be more productive, then this video is for you.
Here we go.
Hey guys, I have had to learn the hard way about how to be productive. I am not a natural scheduler. I've had to learn tips along the way to make it easy and simple for me. And if you're in that same boat, I want to share with you what I have learned along the way. First and foremost, what I had to learn is I had to forget about managing, saving, and organizing time. It's a myth. You can't manage your time. You can't say, 3 p.m. doesn't work for me here. I'm going to move it till later in the day, or I'm going to move it till earlier in the day. You can't do that. 3 o'clock comes at 3 o'clock and there's nothing you can do about it. But this is what I've learned, not to manage my time, but to manage my priorities. If I can look at my priorities and say, okay, this is what is most important to me today, and then work toward that, I can accomplish that. So tip number 1, forget about managing time and begin to manage your priorities. Secondly is what I call the bracket system, and this is one of the ways, probably the most significant way, that I determine what my priorities are. Now, an interesting thing about the word priorities is there was no plural form of that word when it first originated. Matter of fact, for many years there was no plural form of the word priority. It was just priority. It's only in our recent culture that we have added to that to make it priorities. Why? Because if you have several, then it's not a priority, right? A priority is, what is that one thing, what that one focus that you're focused on. And I tell you what has helped me do that is what I call the bracket system. The bracket system, I don't know about you, but I love March. March Madness is like the epitome of my year. That's my Christmas. And the reason I love it is, first of all, I'm a big college basketball fan, especially the UK Wildcats. I love watching my college basketball, but especially in March when they have the tournaments and they get those 64 teams into those brackets and you get to watch them progressively work toward that championship. I don't know what it is about that, but that just gets my blood to boiling. I love it. I love watching that whole process, especially if my team is the one moving through the brackets. So I took that passion for what I have with basketball and running through those brackets, and I have applied that to establishing what is my priority. Now, this bracket that I have right here on the camera, this is my weekly bracket. Before the week begins, I take 8 items, 8 things that I would like to accomplish this particular week. And this is actually my bracket for this week. And I list those 8 items on there and I begin to work them through a bracket. Okay, between these 2, which one do I most want to accomplish? He moves forward in the bracket. That other one goes over to the loser's bracket. It's a double elimination bracket. Once you lose twice, you're gone. But I work them through that bracket until I come to a champion priority. And that is my focus for the week. I don't look at them and go, okay, I want to get all these done and I want to get them done in this order. No, I look at my champion priority and I say, if I don't do anything else this week, I will do this. Okay? And so, for this week, my champion priority was prepping for a Zoom call that I had earlier in the week. And you know what? I did that. I got that done. Now, I can look at that second priority. I can look at the next thing down on the list and say, okay, now I need to accomplish this. This is my new champion priority. but it's only after I've already accomplished the first one. So often we try to focus in so many different directions, which is a contradiction of the definition focus. Focus means to zero in on one item or one area or one direction. And my bracket system helps me to do that. I not only do that for the week, I do it for each day. I take 4 items. It's a smaller bracket, but I take 4 items that I want to accomplish that day, and I work them through a bracket. For the month, I do a 16 item bracket, and I do the same thing. For the year, for 2018, I did this. Back in the first week of January, I did it with a 32 item bracket and worked it out to decide, okay, what is my champion priority? What's that one thing I want to accomplish? In another video, we may go through that in a little more detail, but I just wanted to share that with you here because that has helped me to be more productive. All right, what's some of the other tips that's helped me be more productive? This one, getting enough sleep. I cannot emphasize that enough. It is so difficult to be productive when we are draggy, when we're tired, when we got to sit down, or when we do sit down, we got to fight to stay awake or to have energy. When you get enough sleep, sleep is so underrated, especially in today's society. And I don't know how much enough sleep is for you. I know what it is for me, but you got to decide that for yourself. You got to figure out at what point, how much sleep do I need to perform at my best? How much sleep do I need to be at my optimal level so that I can be the most productive? And don't devalue that. Value your sleep. How much sleep do you need? And do all that you can to get that much sleep on a consistent basis. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to that, but you want those to be the exceptions and not the rule. How much sleep do you consistently need in order to perform at your optimal level? That will help you be productive. Tip number 3, wake up early. Now that may seem like a contradiction with the tip we just looked at. You do need enough sleep, but there's just something about getting up early and being productive. Now I realize we're all different, and for some of you, staying up late may be your productive time. Find out what your productive zone is and take advantage of that. Mine is early in the morning. If I can get up early before the sun comes up, and I tell you what, sometimes I get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, I go to bed early so that I get enough sleep, because if you're waking up early but you're not getting enough sleep, it doesn't really help you out a whole lot. I make sure I get enough sleep, and then I get up early so that I can get so much more done. I tell you what, my brain shuts down when the sun goes down. So for me to try to be productive in the evening just doesn't work. It takes me 3 times the amount of energy and time in order to accomplish in the evening what I can accomplish in the morning. I am just so much more productive in the mornings. And I sense that if you get enough sleep, that is true for most of you. There may be some exceptions out there, but our typical body functions better waking up early, going to bed early, getting enough sleep. So my top 3 tips that I just shared with you, and these are not in a ranking order, but it's stop managing time and start managing your priorities. Find out what your priorities are, and I use a bracket system. If you want to know more about that, get in touch with me. I'll walk you through it one-on-one. But I use a bracket system to be able to decide what is most important for me today, and this week, and this month, and this year. And then thirdly, I want to get enough sleep. I want to get enough sleep so that I can wake up with energy and ready to go. And I want to get enough sleep in a way that I can wake up early and get so much more done during that productive high point of my day. Now, what is the fifth and final one? This is it. I call it focused enthusiasm. Once you set your priority, what is your champion priority? You've got the sleep, you're up early, you're ready to go. Now get focused. Some of the biggest problems we have is not because we're messed up, we're just out of focus. We don't have a plan for our day. When I do those brackets of deciding my priority, I do my weekly bracket before the week begins. I do my monthly bracket before the month begins. I do my daily bracket before the day begins so that I can look at that and say, all right, this is my focus. What is this day all about? What is this week all about? And it's something that feeds my enthusiasm. It's something that gets my blood to flowing, gets my heart to pumping, something that I want to accomplish. Now, all the little details I may not especially enjoy, but when I'm looking at the result and it's a result that I want, I can work through those details that I don't necessarily enjoy as much so that I can accomplish the goal I want to accomplish. But I've got to keep that focused enthusiasm. I'm not talking about just having enthusiasm. Yay! This is a great day! Woo! And I'm not just talking about being focused. Here I am. This is what I do. Boom. But I'm talking about combining those two and having focused enthusiasm. You know what the best, most successful teams in any sport have? Focused enthusiasm. You know what the best, most successful businesses have? Focused enthusiasm. You know what the best, most productive, and most successful entrepreneurs have? Focused enthusiasm. And the same is true for the rest of us as individuals. If we want to have a productive day, a productive week, a productive month, a productive year, a productive life, develop some focused enthusiasm. And as you do, as you look at these 5 tips and you begin to apply them to your life and maybe some additional tips that you discover along the way, it will make you more productive and it will feed your enthusiasm. Guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comments below, and if you want to be a part of the fellow enthusiast community, then please subscribe.